Hey guys, we're super excited to be here at the LA Fit Expo. It's our third year in a row. And what we're going to be doing today is we're going to be launching the Tasty Pastry. It's a low-carb Pop-Tart. It's got 3 to 4 grams of net carbs. And we love this show. This is our best place to be in LA.
Welcome back to Legendary Foods, Muscle in the Morning. I'm Dave Palumbo, and today is Friday, March 5th, 2021. And let's find out what's going on in the world of bodybuilding and fitness. All my fight fans out there already know that this is a huge weekend in the UFC. Tomorrow night, Israel Adesanya is squaring off against Jan Blachowicz at the UFC 256. And if he wins, he'll become an immortal icon in the history of mixed martial arts as one of the only athletes to ever hold belts in 2 divisions at once. That got me thinking, if you had to pick someone in the men's side who might be able to pull that off right now, wouldn't Chris Bumstead be the guy? Now, just to be clear, I know we had this discussion a few weeks ago after Ian Valliere went on the record to say that Chris would never compete in the Open. But hypothetically, in another universe, is there anyone else in the division who you think could be a crossover champion? Let us know in the comments below. As I mentioned earlier in the week, this is International Women's Month, so it wouldn't be right if we had this discussion without including our amazing female athletes. Now, from this side of the coin, the obvious choice to me appears to be Missy Truscott, for someone who could potentially be a 2-division champion if she ever decided to go both routes. From a physique perspective, she already has the best body and fitness. She's already placed in the top 10 in 2-figure shows a few years ago, and she's got the championship pedigree, which means that she knows how to win. Missy's my pick, but if you have someone else in mind, let us know. This should be a fun debate. Since we've already talked about 2 current potential 2-division winners with Chris and Missy, how about one who's recently retired to round out the conversation? As you can see on your screen, of course I'm talking about 2-time Miss Physique Olympia Shanique Grant. At this point, I'm not sure if Shanique's retirement announcement is even 90 days old yet, so I'm not sure if she counts as a former athlete. But this is my show. I can do whatever I want. I know women's bodybuilding just came back to the Olympia stage last year, but at the peak of her powers, let's say 2 years ago, do you think Shanique could have won the women's physique and Miss Olympia? I say probably not. But since we're talking about hypothetical situations, where do you think she would have placed? Top 10, top 5, maybe even top 3. Where would 2019 Shanique Grant have placed at last year's Miss Olympia lineup? Let us know in the comments below. And finally, just to bring this whole thing full circle, we're closing out today's show with an update from Katya Nosova, who's the only New Zealand-born bikini pro to compete in the Olympia 3 times, well, as far as I know. Now, if you're asking yourself, what the heck does being from New Zealand have to do with anything? I'm glad you asked, because Israel Adesanya, who's the UFC champ, is going for a 2-division sweep we talked about in the first segment. He's also from New Zealand. And as far as I know, he would also be the only 2-time division champ from that end of the South Pacific. So big shout out to Israel and big shout out to Katya. And shout out to you guys watching. Thank you, and I hope everyone has a safe and happy weekend. And that does it for yet another edition of Muscle in the Morning. I'm Dave Palumbo, reminding you to always be true to your passions. And make sure to follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.